Hi there, and welcome to Little Piggies Footcare. This is a clinic chat. I guess that's my new name for it. It's December 13th in 2023, which is unbelievable to be thinking that we're almost at the close of a year. And this really was my year, I must admit. 2023 is the year that all good things happened after some really, really interesting years previous. And I'm filming this now because, believe it or not, everywhere is sick. Typically, I'm usually over in a home up in Barrie, but they've been sick for months, almost over a month actually, and we're starting to see it in different areas, and it stinks, but it is life. So, and typically how this goes in years previous is that everybody comes down with it. We're not as busy as we normally are, and then as soon as everybody's out of it, boom, all the really intense work happens, which is fine. Kind of how viruses go, right? And that can be for any virus. This is not just exclusive to the one who has been plaguing our world, apparently, for 3 years. So, anyway, I am a big fan of things like looking back and creating vision boards and all this kind of stuff. I have found it has helped exponentially with my practice as a nurse, but also with my practice as a business owner. So why don't we go over some of this year? So I was just looking for, in 2019, I bought this off of Amazon, a planner, right? I'm a planner geek. I love them. And no, the computer ones are not the same. And no, I don't want to change, but thank you. So we've officially gone through 5 years with Little Piggies Footcare. And in 2018, which I don't have with me right now, I remember my big things. Everything was 100 people, 100, no, maybe I think it was 100 feet, maybe. So mostly that would be 50 people. And I did my math, and I talked to business planners, and I talked to a whole bunch of people on how to construct this foot care business, right? And then it very quickly reminded me that sometimes you have these visions and these ideas, and in your head they're really good. In reality, no, it doesn't work very well. So here we are, right? So I'm going to show you from 2018. This is just kind of my vision board. I'm a big fan of Canva, if you haven't figured that out yet. So I wanted to go on a vacation. That didn't happen. I was going to go to 2 major foot care things for nurses, right? 2 major presentations, or no, they're not presentations, but what are they? Conferences. And I did, and I really enjoyed it. I got to meet the Tobro, which for a total geek like me, it was really exciting. And I got a washing machine, believe it or not. And you'd think that would be, nah. And nobody needs a washing machine or wants to buy one. I did. I was so excited. We got this fancy new washing machine, and I will be honest, they are not what they're cracked up to be. It was a lot of money for not a lot of, it's actually currently sits broken in my bedroom. Yeah. But I have one. So we need to do that. We need to fix that. Anyway, so there was one published a children's book, which I found really interesting. That was just kind of a side hobby. I did write it, believe it or not. I was going to write it. My sister was going to illustrate it, and the book is written. It's not published, and it's still waiting. But anyway, 500 feet, $60,000 in income. That one makes me laugh. Because, there's no such thing as expenses, right? Anyway. Let's see. File 2018 income taxes properly. That actually did get done. And it wasn't me who filed it. Learned as much as I can and do business online, business courses, and I did some. Have some money in January 2020 to enroll in the diabetic educator course. Bigger goals, higher ceilings, find work-life balance doesn't exist. Thank you, but doesn't exist. Yeah, so that was pretty incredible. And then we skip forward to another year, the year where everything fell apart and came back together again. So in 2020, for me, the first part of it was great. And even for our business, it went really, really well. Personally, my life fell apart in August of it, and it just, what a unbelievable, horrible roller coaster ride. And it would continue on into 2021. So this would be my vision board for 2020. I got really creative. I cut things out of catalogs. I stopped using catalogs, and I tried to use a lot of more online things. But a big thing that I had was I wanted to try to do blogs because they were really cool in 2012. And, 8 years later, it takes me a long time to catch up to things, right? So that didn't work. Instagram, I was just getting used to it. Yeah. I was going to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah. Emails and YouTube, 52 YouTubes apparently, every Sunday and Saturday. Didn't happen. And lots of posting on Facebook because this was my social media strategy. And as the world started going online for everything and things got shut down and everything else like that, the world started to realize just how important nurses were, especially independent nurses who were there for people. Didn't matter. They decided to mess with the status quo and went in anyway. And it was really hard. It was really hard. Losing people, not knowing rules and regulations, learning things on the fly, trying to learn everybody and trying to comply to all the new rules, the PPE that wasn't available. It was a thing. It was a very real thing, and it costs. You don't realize how much things like masks, gloves, all that kind of stuff costs until you have to foot the bill. It was intense. I was happy to see the end of 2020. I was very happy to see the end. I was going to throw a party. I was going to exercise right, eat right, plan it out. Goals, girls, take care of yourself. I was gung-ho. Yeah. I did learn a lot of different things when it came to like business planning and different other things. There was a lot of anxiety. And for some of the first times in my life, I learned what a panic attack was. I learned what anxiety felt like. I learned that I needed counseling, and I went to counseling, and I tried to manage a very complicated life at that point. So there wasn't a lot in 2020, and same with 2021. If you look at my 2021, right, it's all sketched out and everything else like that, because you know what? Like everyone else, everywhere else, we really didn't know what to expect for the next year. So I go with themes and all this kind of stuff because I'm a total geek and I absolutely love doing this kind of thing. So for 2021, my word was focused, right? I wanted to be focused. I wanted to learn how to pivot, plan, and pursue. So, but it was in 2021 that a lot of things started happening. So I had the unique privilege in 2020 to start gathering courses behind around me. Although I wasn't out physically doing a lot of foot care, I was in the background trying to gather a lot of information, and I'm sure everybody else was too. So I had the incredible opportunity to learn about the Indigenous Health and Safety, Cultural Safety course, and that was incredibly eye-opening. To have to face your privilege and to have to face how you grew up was really interesting, and your kind of family and your maybe your biases that you didn't realize you had, and how some people have access to the healthcare system in different and their perceived bias, right? Like there was, it was really, really intense, those feelings. And I am utterly grateful that I have the opportunity and the privilege to take these courses to let me know kind of where I stand without knowing it. It involved a lot of relearning and a lot of self-reflection. And I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I don't know if I ever will be, but hopefully I'm stepping towards the right place. And I was very privileged that the Indigenous Health Circle, Indigenous Diabetes Health Circle, were the ones that actually had decided to pay for it for me. So I'm a lucky gal. I'm a very lucky gal. This was also the time where I had signed up in August of that year, July of 2020, to start my diabetes educator course, and that I took through Michener and the RNAO, my diabetes health, the diabetes interest group allotted me with a grant to be able to do that. So again, I was very, very, very excited to be doing this. It costs money to learn, a lot of money, and that they wanted to be part of that and to help me out. I was so grateful. But as things would have it, honestly, I got accepted July 31st and my mom fell on August 4th. So it was insane, insane for the next few months, for about 7. In and out of hospitals, trying to cope with family situations, my extended family, like my core family, where I came from, my origins, and then also my family that we've created. I have 3 sons, and then I had to take care of my mom, and then dealing with all the stuff that came with healthcare, and insane. Dumpster fire does not describe it. But we move forward, right? Focused on forward was my 2021. And in 2021, some really, really key, crucial things happened. One was I went through the diabetes educator course. I got hired on somewhere to learn more about what the role of a CDE looks like, and be able to practice in that and gather my hours towards writing it. My oldest son graduated from grade 8. He also dislocated his knee. we had gotten my mom figured out, and then it was intense, very intense. And screaming into a mask, that's another interesting thing to watch. Okay, so we're in 2021 and it's chaos. It is chaos, but we get through it, right? We move on. So my goal in 2021, moving into 2022, a lot of it had to do with my writing my CDE. So how did this go? I'm trying to think. I had to gather 800 hours to be able to get to the exam. 800 hours, be trained and taught all about the ins, the outs of everything to do with diabetes. It was It was. So I kind of went on hiatus 2020, 2021, gathered a lot of courses, including OniFix and different other courses that would help benefit my job, and met a lot of incredible people, lost a lot of incredible people. But that's being a foot care nurse. So yeah, by 2022 we're going places, right? It's complicated. So I'm in a CDE role. I'm really loving and learning so much. I'm gathering information, and inevitably the sixth wave hits the hospitals, and that's exactly where I am. Everything gets put on hold. I get redeployed, which, yeah, I have different thoughts on that. Considering I knew nothing except that one area. Like this was in a hospital I had never worked before, and I had a 3-month contract. So, and I got redeployed month 3. I have thoughts. They're not good. Anyway, so we get into 2022, and now I'm on the upswing. I've been doing counseling. I've gotten my anxiety under control. My mom's safe. She had to move into the Simcoe Manor. We received a miracle in 2022. It's all a blur. It really, really is. I think it was 2021, March 2021. My mom was accepted into the Simcoe Manor, where she would go, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey, but I think anybody can say that. Changes of life are always challenging. It doesn't matter where and when. And she was very sick, very, very sick. Would constantly fall. Is in a memory unit, and it was intense. It was intense. So 2022, I have accepted the fate. She is there. I'm not able to take care for her, and I'm moving forward in my business, because business is very important. And I know this is a very long thing, but I just want to be grateful and look over 5 years of Little Piggies Footcare. 2022, we got a lot of different things going on. I become a preceptor for Ruth Rattan and Associates, which continues to be the most incredible experience I think I've had. I'm so excited to welcome other nurses within to Foot Care, to have the opportunity and the placements in Foot Care, so that I can give them the best experience that they can have. It's incredible. And so in just going over my vision board, this is where I was going to get 1,000 people. That was my goal. 1,000 people. I had worked in Headwaters and different other places, I worked in a lot of different places, and I saw basically how many clients they saw, and then, or they had kind of in their roster and stuff like that, and just tried to gauge what I would need to go forward. And so I would again get to go back to Homeless Care Connect, which was really, really exciting. I would hire somebody for the first time and try to learn how to go about that role, and adding more people to Little Piggies Footcare. I made a video that was used in curriculums, so it's really cool for IPAC, and not IPAC, but about sterilizing instruments and stuff like that. That's really cool. That's really, really cool, to be honest. So I was gonna try for the 100-day challenge. Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. I could bet 1K in hours for the CDE, because it was in 2022. I would write the exam in May. So we were preparing everything for it and trying to get there. Let's see, one foot care team, one franchise. No. I was really considering getting my wound care on top of my CDE because I'm crazy and I don't understand how much involvement that takes. I was going to empower our clients, which I find with Little Piggies Footcare, advocacy is a big thing. I had learned how valuable it was with my mom, and it was something that I wanted to be able to provide for anybody and everybody who needed it. So there was a lot. One thing we did get to do, we got the vacation. We went up to Pickle Lake to my very wonderful friends up there and got to hang out at the most northwestern point of Ontario. I had never driven 24 hours in a day, driven 24 hours. You've got to understand all hotels, everything else like that were still closed. We were still wearing masks everywhere. It was intense. It was amazing, but it was intense driving. I learned stuff, lots of stuff, especially being in a Dodge Journey with 4 boys. Intense, but they were very nice. They let me stop for a lot of bathroom breaks. And I can't sleep in a car, even if I try. So I wrote the exam in May 2022. I wrote it with 2 amazing people. We had been intensely studying for about almost a year. And so I would receive word that I had passed the exam, and it was incredible. We did a lot, a lot. We added quite a few homes and a lot of patients, and we hit 1,000 people. We hit 1,000. Well, we didn't hit anybody, but we got 1,000 clients. I had seen over 1,000 clients. Wow. I had an office manager. I had some people that were willing to work with me, and I was everywhere and anywhere. And this was the year that I decided to hire biz-to-biz links. Because what I was realizing more and more is that I have these visions, but I couldn't think big. I could really only see what was in front of my face day to day. I really couldn't see where Little Piggies was going because I had such an intense family situation. And I had to deal with that. I had to deal with, again, panic attacks, anxiety, depression, all sorts of things. And I'm not belittling it. Please understand that. Mine had a lot to do with situations and circumstances, moreover than other things I was dealing with. So I was able to benefit from some therapeutic medication, and I was also able to get through it and work through it and see where that kind of went and took me. 2022 is also a year of intense change as well. I'm still trying to get over that. We went to a church for a very long time. It's a huge part of my life, huge part of my life. And we had to close it down. So that took another chunk out of me. However, it is absolutely, utterly amazing to think that we have gone to this place, and we've gotten to this place. 1,000, 1,000, 500 feet. No, I'm sorry. 1,000 people. That's like 2,000 feet. That's pretty incredible. That was like, why don't we try this? Okay, so now 2023, my year. So this year, I decided to switch over to different planners because I just like doing that. And I started with the Happy Planner. I very much like them. Really expensive. So if you're out there, they're really expensive. But I started to do kind of 2 different things where I finished off my vision board, but I also made a bookmark this time to be put into my planner. And so 2023, I was a CDE. Life is glorious. Everything's going well. And, well, we see a lot of change as far as office managers and different other things. I've said goodbye to some very fundamental things, foundational, not fundamental, foundational things in my life. And it was the year. 2022, actually, there was a lot of change. It was a year of change. And we moved forward. So it was kind of both. So we get to this year, which is 5 years for little Piggy. 5 years ago, I looked at my mentor and said, sink or swim, here I go. And I am unbelievably grateful for where I stand right now, to think that I've coming to the close of 5 years. Right? So in 5 years, we've gone from becoming a foot care nurse and deciding where the trajectory of my life is. And I was jet propulsed into 5 years. We purchased a clinic at the end of 2022. And we have been running it now for a year, which is incredible. And I didn't realize when we did start the whole clinic thing, I really didn't understand or realize that this would be a whole new business venture. I know. Sometimes you can't teach people much. So in 2023, we were going to have a grand opening for little Piggies Footcare. Booyah. Happened April 22nd. We were going to connect to the north because I have friends in Pickle Lake, and I was looking for any and every excuse to get back up there, because if you've ever been there, it is gorgeous and friendly and wonderful, and I love it. And I also couldn't live in the north because they don't have convenience. They really don't. So, and it takes a lot of planning. We can barely get out the door in 10 minutes. So I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to connect with the north. We were going to do teamwork makes the dream work. We're going to focus a lot on education, get clients, get staff, get students, have workshops, PowerPoints, podcasts, social media, advertising, clinics, groups for patients, workshops, webinars, presentations. Whew, I was ambitious. I was very ambitious. And that was just what's on this thingy. And then on here, I had 2 portions. I had 2023, and then it's the clinic. So for 2023, I was going to make time for myself and self-care. Yeah, anyway. I have a lot of ambition. We're going to go to church weekly. That's been hard. And that's a whole nother talk. I'm going to build up my endurance, my routine, enjoy exercise, which I do enjoy exercise. I do. Sometimes. And I'm working on it. And that's what 2024 is, to do more exercise. Family, vacation, didn't happen. I was going to journal a lot more, and that actually did happen. And I did create a planner. I was going to create a planner. We'll talk about that in a minute. Learning, dealing with grief, acknowledging that it's there. Yeah, because I went through a lot, and I'm dealing with a lot. So in my clinic, there is a big thing. I came up with an idea. A really fun idea. Something that was totally foreign to me. To create an app. And it kind of did. So, 2023, I approached the CAFCN, which is the Canadian Association of Foot Care Nurses, and said, hey, I got this great idea. Can I present on it? And they said, absolutely. So I got to go to Winnipeg. It was really fun. I learned a lot. And I got to present there. So that was my first shot out of the gate. And I want to thank CAFCN because we all have to get somewhere. And learning how to be engaging and learning how to be a public speaker is fun. Is fun. and all the stuff that came with that. Like, we've learned so much, so much, so much. We were going to do education staff, nurses, and clients who are just trying to educate basically everybody, really focus on this creation of this app and really building up the clinic within the area, because it's a new building. It's new. Not everybody knows we're here. Still, not everybody knows we're here. So if you're wondering, we're at 6 Mill Street in Alliston. I know we're considered new to Tecumseh, but Tottenham, which is 20, 25, 30 minutes away, also has a Mill Street, and it's their main street. So maybe I'll get somebody to rename the street. Anyway, so yeah, so we focused a lot on education there as well. Routine. It's a swear word. I swear it. In my life, the word routine is like a swear word. Never happens. And then we're going to grow. We're going to create the app. So here we are at the close of 2023. And again, this was my year. I turned 40. That's right. I said it. I'm still trying to process it. I turned 40 in 2023. I opened a clinic in 2023. I spoke at a conference the first time in my life in 2023. I created, and by I, remember, success takes a team. It's not just one singular person. So, Little Piggies launched the app, got the app going, has the app going, kind of. We're still doing all the stuff we have to. This is to help people with diabetes and neuropathy. And Little Piggies won an award. And by Little Piggies, I mean me. I won an award from the Registered Nurses Foundation of Ontario for that app in November. The Nurse Innovator Award. It's a very prestigious award. I am eternally grateful for it. Guys, I'm really struggling for 2024. You know why? Because life is really good. And we have so much. So going into 2024, what am I going to do? I guess I'm just going to have to do more in 2024. The next year going forward, my plan, honestly, is to build up, is to launch MFT Track to get nurses and physicians and everybody on board with it, to do a lot of advertising, which is something I'm not intensely great at. I'm going to be publicly speaking more. I am going to be exercising more, whether I like it or not. You know, enter your 4th decade, you kind of need to do stuff like a walk every so often. Do more, learn more business stuff, because I'll never have it all right. I don't know. What else should I do more of in 2024? I thank you so much for listening to 33 minutes. Thank you for going over everything with me. This has been the biggest joy in my life. I never, ever anticipated anything like this when I signed up to be a nurse. All those years ago in wait a second, let me see. I entered nursing school in 2002. Well, 2001, 2002. It's been 20 years. So, I hope you've had a great time saying goodbye to 2023 and look forward to 2024. There's always going to be things that look dreary and dismal going into it. Too bad you can't leave your grief in a year, hey? You just can't say, okay, that's it. 2023. I'm not carrying any of this anymore. 2024, fresh new start. We don't ever have to carry grief or pain or anything with us. Wouldn't that be fantastic? But you know, that's where you grow. It's where you learn. That's where you become exceedingly grateful for all of those lessons at every single person who has touched my life. Every single person. I learn so much from all the people that I get to see, to meet, to get to know. So I'm going to carry my grief with me. So anyway, do more in 2024. What do you think? I'll tell you one thing. I'm gonna do more. Can I do more social media? I don't really want to do more social media, but yeah, stay tuned because there is some exciting stuff coming up in 2024 too. Cheers, and Mary, wherever your feet may take you, may you walk good.